The lying leg curl is performed with the leg developer, and you need to go back and review that section on attaching the leg developer if you haven't done so yet. But to get prepared specifically for the leg curl, we're going to be lying face down or prone. And you're going to reach down for this mechanism right here, pull it down, and adjust this pad upward because your feet and ankles are going to go underneath that. So now watch as Josh gets into position. This is by far the easiest way, is to step over. And that way, as he goes to lie down, he just scoots up to where his kneecap is right off of the end of this pad. His kneecap does not go on top of this pad. So another way you can tell if you're lined up or not, as we start practicing the motion, if this pad is rolling up and down, see how it rolled down his calf a little bit? It started by his ankle and rolled down his calf. So I'm going to have him scoot away from the machine a little bit. Yep, scoot off the end. Nope, the other way, Josh, just a little bit. Try that right there. Oh, yep, see how that goes. So now as he goes through the motion, it comes a little closer to staying where it's supposed to. A little bit closer. So you can kind of, yep, try that one. There you go. Now see how the pad stays right there where it starts? Just at near the ankle, just above the ankle, and it stays there the whole time. So that's a great way to tell if you're lined up right now with the machine. The next thing we need to do is make sure that your kneecaps are pointed straight down. So if you're laying on this machine with your legs rotated out, turn them so your kneecaps are pointed straight down. And hopefully your feet are pointed straight down also. Now the next thing in performance is this. Tighten your abdominals and ever so slightly, hang on Josh, just one second, ever so slightly act like you're going to lift your knees straight up in the air. Now I don't want you to really lift them high. In fact, if you were really watching closely with what Josh was doing, let him down. Yep. Now just a slight lift at the knee. Oh, that was so slight. He didn't raise up off the pad. It was just this little bit of tension that he's going to do his best to maintain the whole time. Now watch, as he does that, that will keep his butt from flying up in the air as he does his leg curl. And what's going on in his hamstrings will just be huge because of that. Now Josh, can you show them the big mistake everybody makes where their butt goes way up in the air? This is what most people do when they do a leg curl. And because of that, there's not a lot going on in the hamstring. Show him one more time, Josh. So here he is, he goes up in the air, and you can see some hamstring stuff, but not as much as what you're going to right now. Watch this. When he tightens his abs to prevent his low back from extending, very slight lift that he maintains. Now look at that activity in the hamstring. It's a pretty dramatic difference. And you may even have to change the weight. If you're used to cheating and throwing your bottom up in the air the whole time, if you start doing it right, you're going to have to take some weight off because this is hard. All right? There's always going to be some gastrocs or calf muscles involved in the leg curl. And there should be. It is an important part of performing the knee flexion exercise. But the main thing here is tightening those abs to prevent your back from hyperextending and that little bit of control. And we're not throwing the knees way up in the air, but that little bit of control that keeps your butt down, your knees slightly up, and the tension in the hamstrings. Let's take a look at the seated leg curl. Now, Amy's going to use the foot harness on her left leg. The adjustable arm is all the way down to 9, and she's going to use her right leg to help stabilize herself. So it's on the edge of the platform down there, kind of her heel or her midfoot's on the edge of the platform in case you can't see that real well. And she's got the sliding seat all the way back and locked. Now, with the rope coming from this setting, straight in front of her leg and attached to the toe portion of the foot harness. And all she needs to do is elevate and maintain the position of this thigh as she bends her knee and creates the knee flexion exercise, the leg curl. Now, that's the big trick right there. Because a lot of people will have trouble without having a pad to hold this thigh in position. This ends up being the greatest challenge, right? Because people want to let their leg come up or let their leg move down. And so your ultimate goal is the awareness of where your thigh is, where its position in space is, as you perform this exercise. Come all the way out and then pull back as far as you can, maintaining control and position of that thigh. This is a lying prone leg curl, and we're not using the leg developer that's on the other end. We're just using the foot harness and the cable or the rope. So this time we're going to have the adjustable arm all the way down in position number 9 and the foot harness in place, and the rope and snap hook are attached to the D-ring that's near the toe of the foot harness. So what Josh needs to think about are all the things we did on any other leg curl, trying to stabilize that thigh so that it doesn't move around. We're trying, in other words, keep his butt from flying up in the air. You see that so many times. Show him, Josh, when people do that wrong. You'll see that rear go flying way up in the air, and it's not going to bother you that much. Sometimes your low back will get tight from doing that. The biggest thing you're going to notice is you're not going to perceive much hamstring activity. But if you try this, try tightening the abdominals, and actually, watch what he did. He just ever so slightly lifted his knee. Show him that one more time. Watch right here. He just barely lifts his knee and keeps it there. It doesn't go any higher, but he keeps it there as he curls in, and the hamstring is much more noticeable. You can really feel it working when you do that. And then, one more time, keeps the knee up. And in order to keep it up as he goes eccentrically and releases, think about reaching out with your foot instead of down. So one more time, he's curling it in, keeping the knee up, and then reaching out towards the machine or towards the adjustable arm rather than down towards the bench. And that'll help you keep the tension and the thigh position right where you need it. Make sure that you line up. See, every time he brings his foot down, it heads straight for the pulley. That means that rope is always pulling in the correct direction across his knee and is not pulling to the outside or to the inside.